Hello. Today I would like to present to you segment one about Juneteenth, Monday, June 19th, 1865. Um, to do a little metacognition, I'd like to encourage you to think about what you're thinking and how you're learning. And what we're going to be thinking about are the 5 W's: who, what, where, when, why, and the 2 H's: how many and how much, um, regarding Juneteenth. The 5 W's, the 2 H's about Juneteenth. Thank you so much for leaning in and listening. I do want to start by just showing you a couple of pieces of art. This is a piece of art about soldiers, the colored soldiers, who we will be talking about in this segment. Done by a famous artist from right here in the DFW area, from right here in Fort Worth, actually, Borough, Washington. He does watercolor, and he really loves doing and is known for his artwork on the Buffalo Soldiers, who came into existence shortly after Juneteenth in 1866. Borough, Washington. I also have another painting here. It's a famous Juneteenth painting that I really like. It's by Art Fellow Beck. He's gone home now to be with the Lord, but this is one of his most famous Juneteenth paintings. It's called Juneteenth Picnic. You might want to research that a little further so that you know some of the artists that did work about Juneteenth. Famous artists. There are many artists that have done work on Juneteenth. One other I might want to mention is Irma Bonner Platt. I don't have her painting here with me in this video, but I will put it online. Um, and So yeah, we've got that started. I want to go into those 5 W's and the 1 H about Monday, June 19th, 1865. So what is Juneteenth? It is a point in the timeline of history in America. Um, a point in the timeline of history. Um, when was it? Again, that was on a Monday in 1865. It was at the end of the Civil War, about 10 weeks after the Civil War had ended when Juneteenth took place. Um, where was Juneteenth? Where did it take place? It took place in Texas, in a city called Galveston. Galveston, by the way, is a Spanish name that, interestingly enough, means triumphant town. And Texas is a Native American name. I believe the tribe is the Caddo, and it means friends. So Juneteenth took place in the triumphant town of Friends. I want to go on and talk about who were some of the characters in this event on that Monday. One character that's not been mentioned by too many sources that I want you to know about, being a veteran from the Air Force, are the United States Colored Troops. It has been documented, not too many places, that about 2,000 of the troops that were with General Granger were from the 25th Colored Corps, later called the United States Colored Troops. They were there. I want to go on and talk about another character that was present, famous character, General Gordon Granger. I want to talk about also another what, which is the presence of military might and a declared and proclaimed written law, the power of the written law when proclaimed and declared. So on that Monday when General General Granger took charge of the state of Texas with the Military General Order Number 3 and his troops of approximately 2,000, when he opened his mouth and proclaimed and declared and decreed to the nation's last 250,000 slaves, or it's 250,000, that they were free. That was a very significant proclamation. Now, the Emancipation Proclamation was written, signed, and proclaimed by President Abraham Lincoln on January 1st in 1863. General Gordon Granger's proclamation of the General Order Number 3 was binding and had the force of law. So when he arrived, as I mentioned earlier, 10 weeks after the main Confederate Army under General Robert E. Lee surrendered at Appomattox on April 9th, 1865. This was a period of time when the Civil War, or the war between the states, ended. This was the year that our fighting amongst ourselves ended regarding freedom for African slaves. I want to say that freedom isn't free, and it is a process. So again, it was almost 2.5 years after President Abraham Lincoln had written and proclaimed the emancipation of all slaves that freedom finally came to America. Legend has it that while standing on the balcony of Galveston's Ashton Villa, the Union General Gordon Granger and his regiment of 2,000 Federal troops read the contents of General Order Number 3. In summation, it read, "The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free." And thus began the commencement of freedom in the land of the free, in my opinion. Why is Juneteenth important? I want to have you listen to this song written back in 1993 by three people. Two of them had a Jewish heritage, one was an African American, and together they wrote this song, which was sung by Ray Charles and a man who really made it famous was Solomon Burke. And it's called None Are Free If One is Chained. And I believe that's why Juneteenth is important, to take time and remember and celebrate and do something about these freedoms that we gained. So I want you to listen to this song and be inspired. And I thank you for taking time.